Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy podcast. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate when you share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Just going to hit Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, our studio sponsor. They're amazing. They're awesome. They do superb work. They are owned and operated by a woman who was a vet or is a veteran. And their Google reviews are amazing as well. Check them out at irvines.com, or you can give them a call at 532-6600. Megan and Jamie will answer the phone and get you scheduled for an appointment. You can also do that all online, too. They're very tech-savvy and very giving to the community. I just can't say enough great things about Irvine's. So if you need a car repair, if you need an oil change, if you need any of that, call them at 532-6600. or irvines.com. Also, if you'd love to support the show, we would love to have you come join us on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/gigeconpodcast, patreon.com/gigeconpodcast, you can sign up for two different tiers. Tier 1, $5. That's just saying thank you for doing what you're doing. You've helped me out a lot. We love you. And then there's a $10 tier, which comes with all the perks. You get the pre-show banter, you get an extra podcast a month, and on your second month, you get a free piece of merch from the Gig Economy podcast. So sign up at patreon.com/gigeconpodcast. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Hi guys, welcome to the Gig Economy podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We are super excited to be back. Jesper's ready to burn out of here with a Camaro.
Camaro?
I don't know. It's the fastest car I could think of.
It's the Uber vehicle.
The Uber vehicle, yeah. Yes.
It's the comfort boy.
Yeah, I don't think a Camaro's comfort. That's by many means. So tonight we have Jesper P. and Sam is filling in.
Sam is back, not filling in.
Not really filling in, but just
Stopping
in. You got to bump that mic closer to your mouth, girl.
Okay.
Heyo!
Hello.
Thanks, Mark.
Are we playing Tetris?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's our little... When's the last time you watched a show?
It's been a while, apparently. Thank you, Mark.
This beautiful studio is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid. We'll talk about them a little sooner, but thank you very much for supporting us. If you guys... by the way, no YouTube tonight. I tried twice, and it said live streaming isn't available, so it's just Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope or Twitter. But if you could like the post and share it, whose phone isn't on vibrate?
My phone is never turned on, so it's not me.
It wasn't me.
Whose was it?
It wasn't me.
Oh, well. We'll hear it again. But anyways, if you can share your the post. Right. Sam shared the post. Thank you, Sam. And if you could share it and like it and all that fun stuff. I was going to say if you could really subscribe to YouTube, which we really want you to, but YouTube's broke tonight, so... oh, well. We'll hear it again. But anyways, if you could share your...
Is that me? No. I'm on mute.
Thank you, Sam. And if you could share...
Mine is muted.
My volume's all the way down. I don't know.
Do we need to start over?
No, we're good. Thanks a lot, Sam.
It was definitely
you
Pete.
broke it.
No, that was you, Pete. It's all you.
So far...
Doing good.
So far, I haven't screwed up.
No.
So anyways, so share everything. We're glad we're back. Sees Keith. Keith wants to know how the roads are. And, of course, Janet's here, too, which is our Patreon, our newest Patreon member. And Keith is a Patreon member, too. So just real quick, we are still doing the picnic. I mean, I know things are not quite cooled down yet, but we're going to be all socially distanced and all that. So that is August 15th from noon to 4-ish.
Yep.
So... plan on that. Still looking for a sponsor for that. So, Paul.
Still looking for a sponsor.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, we plan on there being more than 100 people, in which case we can't have it, but I don't think we'll be.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No. Unless, of course, tomorrow morning she's going to shut down the state again. Who might have been? Who knows?
Who the hell knows?
Who knows?
Who the hell knows? So, just want to go over. It's falling apart. That was my boy.
I was like, it's not me for real this time.
I just want to go over. God, this start has just been a shit show.
This is
guess-
awesome.
I guess I should stay away.
No, you're fine. You need to bring this shit
A
around.
little bit more exciting here. This is good.
So in the description, you'll
I
see
haven't even been drinking.
the link to
That much.
the picnic, and you can see a link to our Telegram group, which we absolutely love to have. Starting to get more active now as people are driving. So go to Telegram, download it, and then click the link. You can join the group. And of course, we'd love to get your reviews. There's a link in the description as well. Definitely review us on Apple Podcasts. That would be great. So, stories since last podcast. I have nothing, but I am going to start gig work this week. Not weekend. When you're hearing this, I've already worked the weekend. But if you're watching it live, it's this weekend.
Hopefully
Yeah.
you'll be busy.
I'm planning on it. I don't think I'm going to be taking passengers.
Yeah.
Just food.
I wouldn't.
Certain somebody talked me out of it.
Yeah.
So
That's-
Good.
I mean,
We're not going to mention any names, but Gabe.
I ran into AJ at Costco last week, and he's just doing eats, and he is clearing some good money.
Right.
hey, yo,
So,
secrets.
okay.
I know it's not a secret. No,
Uber Eats.
Eats is
not a
popping,
secret.
and this is crazy because Eats is never popping.
Well, we'll talk about this later too, right? But with Uber Eats buying Postmates, I mean, that's gonna only make that better.
Yeah.
I mean-
So
Hopefully, right?
hopefully,
Will it here though?
who knows? Postmates sucks here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
All right, Sam. Do you have any stories?
I mean,
No.
not really stories. My days are pretty simple. Last week for the first time ever, I had a tip revoked.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I mean, we opened up the app thinking at the end of the day I made $200 and it was $180, and somebody pulled a $20 tip off the order, and I have no idea why. There have been times where I've genuinely made mistakes and I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose my tip. Haven't. I've even gone in and seen an extra $20 quite a few times. But yeah, no idea.
But don't you think people do that just because they add the $20 to
You got tip
get you
baited.
to take them, and then they took them? Yeah,
I
tip
mean,
baiting. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. In Grand Rapids, I don't think it's a huge issue.
Oh, it is.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've got,
When we
I
talked-
had an over $100 order. They gave me a $90 tip and they left it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm going to do
Yeah.
some grocery
That's
shopping this
our
weekend.
biggest order was just over $100.
Hmm.
And
I mean, I remember when we talked to Kristen Miles. She said she had heard about it. I mean,
Okay.
she was from
Shipped.
Shipped. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
She's like
tip,
the local,
tip
The
baiting
lead.
is a
the lead.
right.
big
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, I haven't really had a huge issue. I mean, tips, they fluctuate on Instacart
Sure.
based on whether or not you get everything, and even like the weights of things. Like they want 4 pounds of steak and you get them 4.1 pounds, you're going to get paid just a little bit more. But yeah, it's the only time I've ever had tip just pulled for any reason.
Well, that just sucks.
Yeah,
hope
it
you,
did.
hope you one-starred them.
Oh, but it's not an option.
Oh.
I know. I wish it was. I really would. I wish I could pick customers to never return to their homes again. It should be an option.
Wanda says she can't hear us.
Well, Wanda has she is quiet. Sam needs to get up on the mic.
Fine.
But Wanda also has trouble hearing it every time she comments on the podcast.
It's Sam's fault. It's always Sam's fault.
It's not.
Anyway, so yeah. Oh, here's the picnic. I always forget the little icon. So, yep, Saturday at noon. Saturday, August 15, noon to 4.
Did you ever
that's
go
an
back?
icon?
Well, the logo.
Did you ever go back and get the beer license for that?
You know, we haven't.
No.
No,
You probably still could.
we probably could. I don't know how much it is, but
I think it was $50, but still.
yeah, for sure. So just want to touch on Irvine's again before we get into the gig economy news. Why is it not? There we go. You can call Irvine's at 532-6600 or go to irvines.com. They are a veteran, woman-owned company, and we love them. Check out their Google reviews. They're close to 400, almost a 5-star.
I left one.
Yeah, I saw that you did.
Yeah.
They're just great. They do such a good job, and we're looking forward to sometime this summer. They usually have a car show, and we were going to live stream from there, do a podcast, but they're not doing it this year because of COVID. So they're trying to figure out something else that they can do,
Yeah.
so we can be involved with that at some point. But
real quick before you move on, Nate, we found out how to mute you this time, so you're the only one who can't hear us.
If you go to irvines.com, you can schedule everything online. Sam did that, and they sent all the pictures of what's effed up and what's needs to be repaired and what's leaking. So
yeah, and if it's like more complicated than a picture can do, like they give you a call
for sure
and explain it very simply. Like, I don't know cars. And I understood the issues.
And what's great about it is when you look at the repairs, you can be like, decline. Like, my brake fluid was a little dirty. Decline, decline. Fix. That's all you got to do.
I declined like a tune-up and replacing a tail light. And
that kind of stuff.
I don't need any of this stuff.
Right. So, guys, really support us by going to use them. So, please do that. Thank you. All right, so we're going to jump right into the gig economy and the news, and I am up first, and, I'm not going to read this article verbatim, but as everyone's heard, Postmates and Uber finally agree on a $2.65 billion, thanks, Sabrina, billion all-stock deal, which is nuts. My question is, why are they just trying to dominate? Because they're like, oh, Grubhub, okay, we're not gonna come. They're just like going, like, it's like they had a business plan, like, okay, we're gonna go to Grubhub first, and then we're gonna go to Postmates,
right?
And I just curious. I mean,
that makes sense for them to buy up the other platforms. Why not?
I mean, it does, but they're broke, right? Broke.
No, they're not. They're making so much money you can't. They're broke on paper, but everybody should be broke on paper.
Their revenue is fine. They just aren't turning a profit.
Yeah, but it just seems kind of weird. But
that's kind of the way those startup. It's not really startup anymore.
No, but they've been around for like almost 10 years now.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you it's
at least
not. I mean, it's been at least 5 here.
Yeah,
right.
So you figure. They've probably been around.
Well, it's more than 5. I've driven for 4.
For Postmates?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Uber as a startup. No. Postmates has been around for I think 2011.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
they're big in California.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's huge in California.
Everybody Postmates everything in California.
May 1st, 2011. Postmates.
Okay. Yeah, I said 2011.
Yeah, you're right.
You got the date. What about Uber? You want to Google that just for shits and grins?
I didn't Uber this. I knew it.
Did he say I didn't Uber this?
Yeah, I did.
You meant I didn't Google this?
March 2009.
Dang!
Yeah.
Got smoked on the Google foo.
Yeah.
The Google foo.
Her computer's a little bit faster. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good thing. I'm looking forward to doing Uber Eats and just doing some gig work. And
I wonder if... Sam, does your computer have Windows?
Yeah.
Oh. And yours is faster than Jesper's.
What kind of processor does it have?
No, it's not.
Please say
you
AMD.
say that like I should know the answer to that question.
She's still got her stickers on her computer, y'all.
I don't ever take them off. Ever. I just leave them there.
There's a Samsung ad on there. That's hilarious.
Who cares?
I never take them off.
So we'll see how this... my question is, and maybe I didn't read it in the article, are they going to run separately? Or are they just going to...
I don't know.
I don't know why you would.
I don't know why you would either.
Put them all in one app.
Yeah, brand.
But now Postmates is food and...
It's anything delivery.
Other stuff, right?
Anything delivery. If you want it, you pick the store where you want it from, you tell them what you want, and then they go get it.
But see, that's the market Uber is entering with delivery. With
anything delivery.
Yeah, other markets are doing that, so it makes sense.
Well, they gotta ask or get off the pot because now that COVID happened, and who knows if it's going to resurge or what. The game has changed for grocery delivery and all that other stuff, so they need to be like...
Game has changed for rideshare as well.
Yeah.
It's all changing.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the Grand Rapids group said, hey, does anyone get pings at the airport? Because I just drop people off, and someone commented that the airport staff is just telling them to take taxis because there's no drivers out there.
Yeah, I believe
Which kind of sucks, like when it does go back to normal.
But I saw a roadie at the airport, and I was like,
"Oh, the one going to Zealand."
Oh yeah,
one
for $20.
But I was like, "How the hell, when you have so few people flying, can you not get a bag to where it's supposed to go on time?"
I mean,
how hard is it?
It's the airline, so.
So Keith apparently read the article. He said they're going to run them separately for a while.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Well, they have to for a while.
Yeah. But
I wonder if those the group of guys out at the airport are still sitting out there.
the old guys cleaning their cars.
God. I bet at least one of them is.
The guy in the Tesla out there.
The guy, I think I saw him delivering food when I was doing lawns the other day.
Wow.
Like, I mean, maybe there was another Tesla delivering food, but I swear it was that same guy.
There can't be two in Grand Rapids.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know that Grand Rapids actually has a factory that makes Tesla parts.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
It makes sense though. Grand Rapids is a huge mini
manufacturer.
Yeah, like not the big companies, but all these little minor companies that make 3 screws for another car.
Every single car.
Yeah, exactly. Or the mirrors. Gentex is
Yeah.
mirrors, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Gil does some of the body work and a few other things for Nissan.
I bet there's 50 plus body, what do they call, like body shops? Not body shops, but shops who does parts.
Yeah.
In
What do
Grand
they call that?
Rapids.
Plastic injection or
Manufacturers?
something?
Yeah, plastic mold injection.
exactly.
Yeah, that.
Probably that Royal Plastics out in
There's
Hudsonville
tons.
probably does a lot of parts. So
Yeah.
when you see the big automakers go down, it's affecting a lot of people.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
All right, Jesper, you're up next, and I'm just curious what everyone's opinion about this
The
is.
wonderful, wonderful SBA. Uber is said to agree. No, hang on. This is all about. Sorry about that. This is about this guy said that he got approved for $6,600, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So this is the SBA loan. This is not the EIDL.
It
right?
is the EIDL.
This is the okay.
Yes.
So I mean, it's pretty. First of all, he shouldn't have been approved for the EIDL, right?
No, if you are an
For the
independent
amount.
contractor, yeah. So you can.
Okay, I guess you can get approval as long as you don't.
Your
Yeah.
credit determines your approval amount,
Right.
just like any other loan.
I got approved for a lot.
And then,
For this?
but the amount of the grant you get as an independent contractor will only be $1,000.
Right.
Big businesses can get a grant of 10 grand and then get a loan.
Well, only if they have 10 employees.
Right. If they,
Yep.
I mean, if they
It's
meet
per
the
employee.
qualifications. But
Yes.
so he totally can be qualified for 6,600. That's fine. The question is, can he spend it on business expenses only and document it
Right.
and be appropriate with it? But I mean, assuming he has 30 years to spend it, then yeah, of course.
Why would you pay it back for 30 years?
So that's
I think
why.
he just could. I don't think he has to.
No, that's the
but-
terms. Most of
No.
them are 30-year terms.
No,
but if
I
you just
know,
pay it
yeah.
off. You just pay it
Well,
off.
yeah. I mean, I guess my point was, why would you do that? I mean,
Well, I think most people don't read, because I went through and I read like every single line, and most people don't realize you
can't
have
pay
to
rent
spend
with
it.
that.
Right. Because I was like, oh, I got some credit card debt from when I wasn't working. I'll just pay that off.
Right. Way better
Nope.
interest rate, or pay your car payment off faster.
so if you pay
or-
it off, if you pay it for other stuff,
Because you have to supply receipts.
right. But what if you don't?
it's fraud.
You have to pay it back money and, a half.
penalties. Yeah.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah. Now, at the point you've committed fraud, you've
But
lied
what about the
about-
first 1,000 then?
That seems to be no hold
Spend it on a
barred.
bubble
You can
gum.
do that whatever you want with the first 1,000. They don't care.
Little Debbie snack cakes.
But anybody can prove they spent $1,000 on.
Exactly.
Pay.
So they don't care at
But
that point. But
for-
beyond that,
So
it's-
that if 5,600 he gets, let's say, can you use that for payroll?
no,
No.
the EIDL absolutely cannot be used for payroll.
So it's different from the PPP loan.
Yes, the PPP loan is just payroll, and you paying yourself is not payroll. I cannot emphasize that enough to people.
So that exactly. A
Really?
contract worker cannot get the PPP.
no, they cannot. You paying yourself as a business owner is not considered payroll,
Oh.
legally
It's,
speaking.
no, it's just what is it?
It's-
It's a
it's-
deduction, right?
Yeah, it's
You just pull
it's a
out
withdrawal
whatever.
you take out of the
Withdrawal.
bank. That's it. You
Withdrawal,
don't get
yeah.
a tax break for it. You don't get anything.
Now,
You get.
if you are an S corp,
I thought he said escort.
I knew what he said.
if your company is technically an S corp, then you are hired by the company, and
Yes,
you're,
if
and
you
you're
hire
paying
yourself as a CEO, there's wiggle
Yes.
room around it. Yes, it's just difficult.
Sam, can we make,
And no independent contractor
You want to
has
go
ever
get a
done
bite
this.
to eat? Or
Yeah. I'd like to set up an escort, please.
yeah. But generally, but like a Uber driver, you
No.
can't get a checkbook from a business bank account and cut yourself a check for $1,000 a week and call it payroll.
Right.
It doesn't
No.
work that way. You're
guess-
going to get in
I
trouble.
guess why I brought this up, I want to get all your opinions. Would you do this loan the way this guy has it set up? I mean, no judgment to anyone that does it. I just don't think it's, unless you're desperate for the money.
If I knew that I was going to have $6,000 or $7,000 of business expenses this year unexpectedly, like, oh, I don't know, my transmission going out on my Nissan, it could be worth it.
Okay.
Because I could use it for that. I still have chosen not to.
What about replacing a car?
I don't think buying a new car is purchasing capital. It's not a business expense. It's a
Freaking
capital
nerds
expenditure.
up here.
So I don't think so.
So is this guy, is he SOL now? Does he still get his 1,000?
You'll still get your 1,000,
Yeah.
100%. But if you were to take like 10 grand and then go buy a new car with it, it's possible it could hurt you because it's capital. It's not a business expense.
Jamie Lynn Brooks said quite a few drivers are thinking they could pay off their cars as a business expense. Not sure how far they will get with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you should probably clarify that before you accept the money.
Definitely. Like get it in writing from the person issuing your loan that yes, you can use it that way.
I have a question with this SBA loan. Is this a new thing?
Yes.
Okay, so calling an attorney or someone or a tax person may not have the knowledge.
The people issuing the loan should know the answers to these questions.
They should.
They should.
You're actually not allowed to hire a lawyer or anything to help you with this, right?
I don't know.
Because I remember when I was going through it, you have to like put on there specifically if somebody helped you or you paid somebody to help you fill out the paperwork, and then in which case they don't allow it.
What?
Yeah.
That seems weird because
That
like
does seem
businesses
really
have
weird.
in-house attorneys that are going to review this before it goes.
When I filled in the DL paperwork just the other day, and there was a spot for me to put in a name of somebody that helped me fill it out.
Yeah. Like I'm sure they want to know who it was.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah.
then.
Just
Yeah,
in
'cause
case
that would
they
be
led you wrong.
Yeah, like an audit.
Yeah.
You know, like my tax guy, when he signs the thing and
Yes.
the IRS comes, they come to him first.
Right. And if he did something wrong, he will be on the hook for covering your issues.
Well, it's funny. I brought in some deductions on some sticky notes and just wrote it down. And he's like, oh, you know, you don't need, he goes, I don't really, he said, I don't really need those numbers because you're below a certain thing. And I took him back. He was like, oh no, I'm going to keep them in your file. Because if the IRS comes back and says, this guy said this, he's going to open the file and see my pink sticky notes in there. So it was kind of funny. He kept everything I gave him.
Well, again, if he had made a mistake, maybe you were above that line, they
Right.
can retroactively throw those in.
I mean,
there.
I even wrote the mileage and I was like, oh, you can round it up. He's like, I'm writing exactly down. And it was on the sticky note. He's like, well, just in case they come back, I can be like, well, he wrote it.
So,
But anyways, all right, let's move on because we got a lot to get through.
All right. So the next one is what? Since when do we ask for tips? My food hasn't even left the building and he sent me this. What would you say? And the picture says, hi, food order is on the way. Tips would be very much appreciated. Blessings to you and thank you. Enjoy your meal.
Your mail or your meal?
Meal.
It says,
Mail.
hey, Dustin's on. Hey, Dustin.
Dustin.
hi,
Yeah.
Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
It's a bit early to be sending a text like that. Like if a thank you, your food has been delivered, I guess you could do it. I still wouldn't. But not before the food has even arrived, like in their driveway.
People like, and this might be just because I spent almost 20 years in a business where like it was severely frowned upon for asking for tips. Like the owner
As a driver?
like
Okay.
he did not want the
Especially
drivers.
corporate.
Right.
Corporate America, you don't ask for tips.
Like, so to me, if I would get this text message,
You wouldn't tip?
I don't know if I wouldn't tip, but it would be like $2, $3, something.
I mean, I would still give them their tip, but I would certainly text back. It's inappropriate to send this text message.
Well, what if it would be at the time of drop off and he would change the words a little bit? Like, thanks for using Uber Eats. I would really appreciate a tip if you know, basically the same thing. It doesn't change it?
No, people like fishing for tips. Like,
But he's
like
not being
instant.
He's not being a D about
He's
it.
not, which is why I would still tip him. But I don't know that I would tip him as good as I normally do when I get.
Well, it's
delivery.
funny. I'm kind of fighting, going against you a little bit. But if I'm in a restaurant and I give cash and the server says all set,
Right.
Like, that's implying.
Right.
I know she's not being that way, but she just wants to know. But, like, why would you say that? Like, what if I had 100 in there?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But she wouldn't say all set if it was 100, though. Do you think?
No, but she doesn't know it's in there. She grabs it from me,
Oh, true.
and she says it's all set. I don't
think
know.
I'm just more old school where, like, I want you to offer change back, and then I'm going to be more apt to saying, no, just keep it.
Yeah. Real quick, Dustin, we're not streaming on YouTube. It would not stream for us tonight. Never had it happen before. So I don't know. We tried twice. And
It's never happened before like this.
It's never. So not working. I guess I'm on the fence with it. I'm not offended by it. I mean,
he wasn't rude by any means.
Do you look at it, though, you being on as a driver, seeing that, does that piss you off more? Or, like, are you looking at it from just, like, a customer perspective?
I'm looking at it as...
Like, you're not a driver. Because I know how the hustle is out there. So I'd be
I'm
like...
looking at it as a customer.
Okay.
I'm not... If he would say... I just think if he took the tips part out, if he sent the rest of the message, I would be okay and fine. And, I'd probably be more apt to tip him better because he's communicating and letting me know.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start, throwing that line out there to...
Yeah, I mean, Dustin
tip.
said she should have also added food is on the way and I'll be there as soon as I can. Please remember that tips are always appreciated.
Right.
Maybe changing the verbiage a little bit.
Yeah,
See, I like that verbiage a little bit better.
I do too. It doesn't sound as...
Please tip me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, if it was like right after the food was delivered, but they hadn't ended the order yet, I say your food has, especially with no contact deliveries, your food has arrived. It's outside your door. Tips are appreciated.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
See, that's why I was asking. If you drop the food off, like the food's there, and
I think I'd probably care less.
Yeah.
So the difference is in the word "are" as opposed to "would." I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So you're saying tips are appreciated as opposed to tips would be appreciated, because in this case, the word "would"
is a little more forceful.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So is that the difference? Does that make it right? Okay.
I don't know. Alex kind of changed the game with this comment. You can always rate my service in the app, because then they're seeing the tip option.
It's a little sneakier to get them to see it.
I kind of like that even better. That's a little cleaner.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I knew this would get a lot of discussion because it's kind of like, I didn't know.
But it's the same thing. I was always uncomfortable asking for the tip driving.
Yeah.
I
would never put a tip
have
jar
a good
in my
night.
car.
I think
Remember, tips are appreciated.
Well, yeah,
I'm not
because
saying that.
it's personal. You're not doing it via text message. Just so
Plus, people know tips are appreciated. Like, that's not a secret. It's not news to anybody.
But
unless you're not
right.
from America.
But so when Justin put up the signs in his car about the tipping and how it says tips are appreciated, he got more tips.
Yeah.
And he got more 5-star ratings.
I swear when I used to put cash up in the visor, I swear I got more tips. Like early on in the Uber days. Not so much now.
Have cash less and less.
Yeah, they do.
Can't even get coins anymore.
No, you can't.
Oh, jeez.
All they took all the quarters out of their carts.
Dustin said the tip box is awesome no matter what anyone says. I know a lot of people say it's trash.
Some people love it, and that's fine.
Just make sure you mount it and so people can't just take off with
They
it.
have video of that chick grabbing that money. That thing went viral. I mean, there's like millions of views on that thing. But I never
she
did
made
it.
away with like $8. It was good.
Yeah, there wasn't much in there. All right, let's jump into Sam's article.
Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of covered this just a little bit at the beginning.
Sorry, Sam. Before we go on, Sam is like doing Instacart like a boss now, now. So that's why we brought her in to kind of talk about Instacart stuff. Not that there's a ton going on with it.
I mean, it's pretty repetitive, but still, it's been interesting shifting from like 90% Uber, 10% random other things, but never groceries. Because I hate grocery shopping.
I know, that's so funny.
I hate it.
You ordered shipped yourself.
I know, I still do sometimes.
That's bougie.
No, I'm in the store all day. I've been in the store for 10 hours and I get home and I realize I need groceries. I am not going back to the store. I am ordering them on Shipt.
I got to figure out how to sign up for my free Shipt account.
Yeah, it's only saving you $50. You still pay out the ass of, the increase of.
It's not that much.
I don't know.
Feel like it's that much.
Yeah.
Well,
But
again,
okay,
Anyway,
so
sorry, didn't
the
mean-
article is about Instacart changing their policy on when tips can be adjusted after a placing an order. In the past, it's been a 3-day window that you have as a customer to change your tip for whatever reason. No reason even had to be given, which is infuriating. But now it is down to a 24-hour window, and they do have to leave feedback, even though last week when my tip was revoked, I didn't receive any feedback. So either it wasn't instituted yet, or they aren't passing it on to us.
It's the same problem with Uber.
Right. They don't give us the feedback.
You're supposed to be able to, if you 1 star your driver, below 3 stars, you're supposed to be able to put in the reason, and then they're supposed to give that reason to the driver so they know how to improve or whatever.
I mean, I have some
but it never comes through.
They do. They generalize it, don't they?
No.
Well, I mean, Instacart does have, if you actually check your how am I doing in your ratings, some people have left comments for you.
Yeah.
But that isn't a part of the comment they leave for why they're revoking a tip. That's a whole separate feature. So that part doesn't get passed on. And I mean, the reason that they did this, though, is tip baiting. It happens. People will put fat tips on an order because they know it's the only way a driver's going to pull it, especially if they're pretty far from the store. And then go afterwards, just go and pull it, which they've had every ability to do. And it's really frustrating. I mean, I go into an order that, it was like a $36 order. It was still a waste of my time because it was a triple batch and it ended up being a nightmare. But she got all her stuff. She got it in a timely time frame. I actually talked to her quite a bit in the store about a couple of replacements. We had a long conversation. Which
We're like
makes
friends.
me so mad.
Yeah, when you go above and beyond.
Yeah, and I'm actually talking to you, and she kept going on to me about her health conditions and why things had to be a certain way. It's okay, that's cool, that's fine. I'll get you whatever you want. But and to then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make $35 on this. Then I go, oh, I made $15 on this, and it took me an hour and a half.
Well,
not worth it.
Instacart in this article does say it's only 0.5% of orders have tips removed.
Yeah, see, I don't feel that it's common. Some markets, it might be worse.
I feel like I've seen a lot of people in Grand Rapids complain about it.
Well, we probably heard a lot about the big ones that got that.
Right, and I'm sure right when COVID hit, it may have been worse than normal.
Yeah.
And some people also probably don't know the difference between tips being pulled and tips being reduced. Because when you give a percentage tip, like a 20% tip, and the bill is $100, then you get your $20. But if you only get $99 of those groceries, you're going to lose some of your tip. And people don't realize that 15 cents that was taken off wasn't someone pulling it back. It was you not finding an item.
Yeah.
No,
and so if you're missing 12 items off of a 30 item order, it adds up. Yeah. Sometimes you can lose $5, $6, $7 on an order because the store just doesn't have it or any reasonable replacements.
Yeah, Alex brought up a point that I was kind of going to say is why can't they limit the reduction? So if it's $20, you can only reduce it 50%.
Right. That's
or something.
My mom made the same point that you shouldn't be able to take the whole 20.
And now
part of it, sure.
I don't have the article or I don't have the picture. I did save it, but we might as well talk about it. Shipped is going to upfront tipping now too,
which is great.
You think it's good?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I waited 3 hours for my groceries that were never delivered.
Oh, you think they're doing that to get more people out in the street to deliver groceries?
Yeah, I think so. It'll just give customers the ability to say, hey, I'm willing to pay you this much. Prioritize getting my groceries.
Exactly. That's why my idea for Uber, if you live out in the boonies, if the passenger could offer a $10 bonus, you drive from the airport for $10 on top of the rate, plus whatever tip.
There's probably a lot of trips that I would take if I knew for sure what I was going to be getting extra.
It was the exact same thing I used to say to people, to the kids getting picked up out in Allendale is, the moment somebody accepts the ride, you text and say, I will give you $20 in tip or whatever.
Yeah.
Because then you won't get Allendale bing.
Yeah, decline. And now they could screw you on that as a driver,
right.
but most people, I would say probably over 90% follow through with what they're
absolutely.
saying.
Most people
And
aren't
I have-
interested
Other
in
than
changing
I'll
it.
tip you in the app.
Yeah.
When they say that, that's not going to happen.
I got some nice tips
It's a
at
much-
Allendale.
It's a much bigger deal to actually put the tip there and take it back than to just say, "Oh, I'll tip you in the app." Like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, you take a tip back. If everything was perfect, you're just some sort of badass or something. Because like you have balls of steel. Because you probably wouldn't do that in person.
No. I mean, I've reduced tips for bad service,
For bad service.
but never removed the entirety of a tip.
Yeah.
But you also know the value of the tip because you do it every day.
Right.
You know, it's the same reason we always said that the people who tip the best are the people in the service industry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I every time I drove a waitress or a waiter or whatever, I would get a tip.
Yeah,
It was
and usually cash.
usually cash tip, all that stuff. Because they know the value of it. They
Wouldn't it
know
be
how
great
important
if-
that is.
Wouldn't it be great if everybody had to work like 2 years in the service industry as they were growing up?
People would be so much nicer.
Yeah, and even if you didn't do service the rest of your
Right.
life, if you
Yeah.
did something else.
Right.
The memories of somebody screaming in your face would forever put you in your place.
I feel like it's either military or food
Yeah,
service.
right.
Mandatory. You either got to go to the military for 2 years or you got to do food service for 2 years.
So Sam, while we're talking about tip scamming, I noticed that the other thing that's been going on now is that they're setting their deliveries for locations that aren't.
Yeah, I saw that.
Have you had any of those?
I've seen the 0 mile ones pop up, but I've never taken. They've never been enough money for me to bother. Like I won't take an order that's less than like $20 to $40.
Sure.
It's just not worth my time, and
Right.
they're usually like $13, $14 ones
Yeah.
that do that. But yeah, so what somebody was talking about on the page is if you are outside the delivery zone for Instacart, which is a huge delivery zone, like you
Yeah.
must be way out there.
Yeah, I've taken some way out to like
way out in
far
Rockford. Yeah,
Ada.
almost Greenville,
Yeah, yeah.
Rockford. And they're outside the area, so they put the address that they're delivering to as the store. So it shows up as a 0 mile delivery. So you go, you pick all the stuff up, and then I would have assumed they were going to come pick it up, and that's what I was doing. I wasn't doing a full service. I assumed I was just doing a shop and pick up. And they're texting their shopper, "This is my address. This is where you need to bring my groceries."
Yeah.
Oh,
For which point you're not getting paid for that mileage. Like
I wouldn't
any of
deliver it.
No, I wouldn't either. I would just cancel it.
Yeah.
I've
But,
seen it probably 3 or 4 times on the page here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, and I see them, and I'm like, I don't. The one person said they did get paid mileage, but it's not enough.
But here's the thing. The only way that customer is going to learn is if you just put the groceries back. Because I know you don't want to because you want to get some pay, but
Yeah.
I would be like, nope.
At
Do
that
they learn,
point,
though?
at that point, I think Instacart will actually they try to do right to a certain extent.
Right.
I'm sure.
Like I had to return alcohol once, which fun fact, you cannot do in Michigan.
No.
The state of Michigan, it is illegal to return alcohol.
So what did you do with it?
So I
Drank it?
went yes, but so I went back to Fresh
It was a
Time.
good night.
I went back to Fresh Time to bring the wine back, and
Yeah.
they're like, "You can't accept alcohol. You can't return alcohol. Like it's against the law in
That's
Michigan."
weird. I
So I
didn't know
called
that.
Instacart, and I was on the phone with them for an hour and a half. I couldn't get the order to complete. And I kept telling the guy, "Please just override the complete. The order has been delivered.
Yeah.
Please just override." Eventually, he gave me to a supervisor because that was too difficult of a request to just mark the order as delivered. And then I was like, okay, so now the alcohol issue. I'm at the
Glub,
store,
glub, glub.
ready to return it. They won't take it. And they eventually said, okay, you'll just take it home with you for now and we'll be in touch. And they sent us one email and I was like, whatever. And I cracked that wine open and I drank it.
So what
It
was
was
the
very good.
what was the situation that you couldn't deliver the alcohol?
Her driver's license was expired and so was everyone else's in the home.
Oh, that's
Yes.
weird.
I know, how is everybody in your
Yeah,
home?
like
with-
at least someone in there
Right.
will have a valid
It's
driver.
weird because I'm in the car insurance and home insurance business now, like not selling it, but
Yeah.
they actually have they call it a moratorium.
It's a moratorium. Yeah, the state of Michigan does.
Yeah,
But alcohol is a federal issue, not a state issue. So the government can't actually override that technically. And it's an
Oh.
Instacart policy, regardless of what Michigan says.
wow.
So yeah, expired IDs, no go.
Huh.
I cannot leave the alcohol. But yeah, I had 2 very nice bottles of organic white wine.
Well, hopefully 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Organic. Wait, they have no.
Yes.
All their licenses are expired, but they're ordering organic white wine.
Oh, these were very bougie German people, actually.
Don't know why you're looking at me. I'm not
You're
German.
European.
Well, you're over that from that
You're
way.
European. But yeah, very nice. Yeah, all of their groceries were organic. So of course their wine was too.
I bet it was delicious.
It was very good.
I just want to point out before I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No, you're
Miguel, if you don't say something on Twitch this episode,
We're quitting Twitch.
But I meant to get the point was that Instacart does you right. Like they give you $15 for the effort of returning the alcohol, and the lady actually gave me a 20 for making me have to go back to the store.
Oh,
So I got $35, 2
$35
bottles of wine.
you got shit
2
face.
bottles of wine. You had a real good night.
Yeah. So it was.
So what happened to did they refund? Did Shipt refund them?
I refunded them. I can do that in the app.
In Instacart, you can do that.
Okay.
Yes, I refund. That's part of the process of like getting it so you can complete it and override the ID is that you're refunded, and then it just didn't work. But they were refunded.
Well, that's
Instacart
good.
was just out the $40 for the wine.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever. All right, couple of fun pictures that we've seen in our market. First one, this is in Ann Arbor. It says top drivers made $8 per hour. I mean, does anyone proofread these emails?
I don't know, but I got to go. I got to go make $8 an hour.
I mean-
No, they are completely
You better drive
auto-generated.
2.5 hours over there. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It looks like it got cut off, but it looks like the graph says COVID-19 with a big dip, and then it's like all the way up to the top. I'm like, ooh, what was it at COVID-19?
Yeah.
75 cents? Man. And then this one, this is yours, Jesper.
Oh, I liked this one.
Earn $30,000 by referring new dashers.
This was from Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a friend or family member looking to work? If so, cash by referring them to Dash. $30,000 for referring new member.
Yeah.
And friends you refer will earn $5,000 too.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't
Sure.
understand this. I've gotten a bunch of them from Grubhub too, texts that say you can earn $0 if you drive 0 trips. And I know it's just
sure.
but I feel like it's a data entry. Like, okay, we're putting this number in today. Like this.
Well, they're obviously missing a comma or a dot or whatever is over here. So it's
probably
A period.
$300.
period. Yeah.
Comma, dot,
Yeah. 300,
semicolon.
Yeah.
Punctuation
I
is
can never
important.
remember. Yeah, exactly.
It is important. It is important.
30,000. Hang on, I gotta go sign up for DoorDash.
I say I would have happily done DoorDash this summer. if
Right,
that
I
was-
would have cut people's legs off to get my 200 deliveries. I'd be like, sorry, we're breaking the law tonight.
All right, so this one was from Reddit, and topic is Uber medics. Uber is so delusional that they wants us to voluntarily take a pay cut to give medical workers discounted rides. Who would ever opt into this? Here's an idea, Uber. Why don't you waive your cut for these rides? If I want to help healthcare workers out, I can have them schedule in advance and pay in cash without Uber's upcharge.
First of all, waive.
Yeah.
So we include this in here just for, there's a couple things in here for new drivers that are maybe driving is like
There's a lot to unpack in this.
Well, Uber doesn't reduce your rate. This
Right.
is not a reduction. Like anytime there's
promo.
a promo like Lyft offers, if you want to vote or you need to get groceries or whatever, you still get paid the same.
Still getting paid.
So don't freak out.
Yes.
Uber's taking
They
their
are-
cut.
The only time they're going to cut your pay is when they send you an announcement that the whole town is getting a pay cut. Beyond
Right.
that, there's no such thing.
What else do you need to unpack in here, Sam?
Well, that's not what Uber Medics is it?
Well, so exactly that.
That's-
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, it is. So basically, people who can be approved for riders can be approved for the Uber Medics platform. But what I also see about that, which to me is more important, is do I really want to? And again, I understand these people need rides as well. But do I want people who are on the front lines in my car every day?
No.
That's my thinking. I mean, I want to help them out as much as the next guy, but do I really?
Hey, there's
Delivering groceries today, this woman wouldn't open her front door because her husband worked in the hospital and she didn't want to expose this to her household.
Right. Exactly.
and no one judges you on that because
No,
I would
That's
say a
fine,
lot
yeah.
of people wouldn't do that. I think what Sam's thinking, I think she thinks
Yeah, the medical rides.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. This was
Specific for patients,
Yeah.
not workers.
Oh.
There's another
Well,
one.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
What's it called?
something just like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And maybe it's not Uber. Maybe it's something else. But
okay. But yeah, okay. But then that clears that part up at least. But yeah, again, who wants these people in their car? Like,
Right. And I'm not judging anyone that does. You got to make a buck. So I totally get it. I wouldn't do it.
No.
But just for new drivers, you will get paid the same regardless, and you can turn that off at any time.
Yep.
Right.
Is that even? Do they even
Just-
have that local? Last time I checked my app, it wasn't in there.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just yesterday on the women's Uber
me.
Lyft page, a woman had someone order a ride and the location was a COVID testing site and she expected the driver to sit in line for the drive-through testing site.
Oh.
And I'm like, how rude are you to get in someone's car when you are showing symptoms enough to need to get a test?
Well, and
And
you
you
can't get
order
a
a
ride in an
stranger's
airport. You
car.
think you're going to get an effing ride to a COVID testing
Yeah,
site?
this girl picked her up and didn't
Wow.
know where they were going. She didn't know what the address was
Oh.
and got there and
So
it was
she-
a testing site.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know if she waited it or not. I didn't ask for further details, but I was like, I hope you told her to get out and you left.
I hope you got a test too.
Yeah.
You would, with my dash cam, you would see the biggest surprise face when that rider said, "This is where I'm going." I would be like, "No, we're not.
No, nowhere.
Sorry. Lots of love. I'll even cancel the ride. I won't even charge you the $5." But
I would.
Yeah, it's just
you're
rude.
a dick.
No, I mean, I'm with Jesper there.
All right, this is a TikTok video. Hopefully, I muted it because the music's probably copyrighted, but
I haven't watched this. I wanted
right.
to be surprised.
it's funny.
Ooh, I didn't read this one.
Oh no, I have seen this one.
So basically, it's just a TikTok of him doing an Instacart, and it's like
1 billion.
30 boxes of Cheez-Its and 30 things of Oreo.
Double stuff too. They're pink.
That makes a difference. So basically, $200 of snacks. So I guess my question to you, Sam, what's the weirdest order
That's why
that you?
exactly why I put that in there.
Yeah, I know you. I got you.
I mean, I went to Forest Hills Foods the other day, and there was 2 different vagina sprays.
You're like douches?
No, like it's spray to make your vagina smell better.
No, that can't be healthy.
It's from the Summer's Eve line. Like there's commercials about it. And
You should have bought a bar of
so
soap.
we were looking for it like in like the fragrance section or whatever, like in like a soap area, and I had to ask the pharmacist where it was, and she told me. So I went, I got it, like it's with the tampons and stuff, and I brought it
not
and
for me.
I put it in.
Oh, that's the worst.
I put it in the cart, and Mom was like, "Well, where was that?" I was like, "Oh, it was at the period stuff." And she's like, "Why?" I was like, "Because it's for your vagina, Mom." And she couldn't.
She couldn't what?
She couldn't believe it. So,
Oh man!
I
Hey,
mean,
if she needed it, I mean, come on, she
yeah,
needed it.
no, I
Holy
was
smokes.
like, and like even Mom's like, there are just some things I wouldn't ever have ordered to my house,
Well-
and like that's one of those things that you just don't have other people pick up for you.
yeah, I mean,
But-
I've done it where these ladies will ask for like these specific pads, and then you're like, oh, it's a pad, whatever. You go there.
No.
There's fucking like
Yes, there's so many.
there's like 30 different models,
Yes.
meaning
Oh yeah,
yes,
I know.
no, yeah,
like
Yeah.
less absorbency, more absorbency.
for
like-
active, for not active.
Yeah, and like when I have to buy them for my my wife doesn't use pads, but when I have to buy her tampons, it's no big deal. But when you're like doing it for a stranger, you're like, oh, this is really
plus you don't want to get the wrong ones.
right
Like,
because then like she's literally maybe she can't leave the house. I get her the wrong tampons, like get her the super or something, and she's like, this is not gonna fit up there.
Man. Like my weirdest Instacart order was like a whole order of alcohol. And I
yeah,
delivered it and she's like, thank you. There's like, I don't know, 1,200 screaming kids inside the house. And she opened the door and she just, I mean, it was picture perfect. Hair is all frazzled.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, here,
There-
please.
I did a.
No need to tip me.
Yeah.
You want me to open it for you?
We delivered to the same house twice in the same day. And her second order was from Fresh Time, and it was 16 bottles of wine. And this woman had no driveway. It was in like East Grand Rapids area. And there was like 40 stairs to her house, and it was so heavy. And there was beer also. No, it was an old lady.
Oh.
But I brought it all the way up, and it was so much wine. I mean, it was, like
she an old lady?
$400 of wine and beer.
Wow.
These weren't cheap bottles.
Wow.
Were they organic?
No, they were not. But I mean, she tipped good on both orders, so whatever.
Oh, because you said she was an old lady. I'm thinking like that old lady that
here's $1. No, she was good. But and one of the most interesting deliveries though, this guy had a staircase that was built into a koi pond. No, it was a koi pond with like floating stairs. Not like floating, like they weren't connected to each other.
Yeah.
And the fish could swim in and out. And he had like 20 kois in there.
Did you not take a picture or video?
I might have gotten a picture.
Mm.
And it was heated. The fish stayed in there all year. They stayed in all winter. The whole porch was heated. He could go out and sit on the porch in the middle of winter, enjoy his fish.
All right, you lost me. Start from the beginning. Koi pond.
Like in the staircase going up.
Yeah, so like the pool was like a big black marble pool, and then there were stairs that went from the driveway to the front door.
Okay.
And around the stairs and in between the stairs was water, and that's where the fish lived. It was super cool.
They live
One
in
of the
water?
coolest things. Shocker, right? So they lived around the stairs.
You have to find that picture. That sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was a really cool pond.
Was it like East Grand Rapids?
No, it was Cascade.
Oh, okay.
So
the other East Grand Rapids.
Makes sense.
There's money over there too.
Yes.
Speaking of money, if you have some, we'd love it. Go to patreon.com/thegigicon podcast. We do behind the scenes.
I'm so proud of you. You got it right.
I know. I'm a big boy now. You get behind the scenes before the podcast. We usually start recording and have some fun times. And then you get the bonus podcast, which we haven't figured out what we're doing this month. And then, of course, on the second month of the subscription, you get a free hat. And we just ordered new hats. The last one went out to Keith, and he wanted the OG. So I sent him the OG hat.
And Janet has one coming soon.
That's true. That shipping's going to be a bitch.
Yeah, it is. I was just going to say, how much did you send Spade to put that in the mail?
We'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll send it like freight on a boat to China or something.
I heard she's going to be over here soon. Can we just ship it to when she's over here?
That's a good idea.
Maybe,
but
it's not going to be until like 2021 though.
Well, just come to the picnic and then you can pick it up there.
That's true. That's true. We'll save a hot dog for you
Right.
if you come to the picnic.
It's only what would we say 4 hours from the from Niagara Falls?
Yeah, something
4
like
or
that.
6.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, she's going to be at Niagara Falls. Right?
Yeah, but it's not until next year, I don't think.
Right.
Anyways,
Oh yeah.
so.
Assuming that she wants to come here next year.
That's true.
Well, right now, nobody wants to marry. Well, she's from down there, so.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
even
we're
worse
not-
there with them having no cases. Ooh,
Well,
heck no.
they started getting them again.
Oh.
Anyways,
So,
not like
unfortunately.
us. But anyways, if you go to patreon.com/gigecon
I think it's
podcast.
the funniest thing that pretty much all of Europe is saying no American.
Yeah, it's fine. They've been wanting to say that for years.
I don't blame them.
All right,
Me
Jesper,
neither.
you are.
I am so sick of people asking me to stop for food.
Understood.
This is another.
This is a Reddit.
This is another good tip for new drivers.
Yep, definitely. No, I won't wait 20 minutes at the Taco Bell drive-thru and not get paid. And no, I don't care about that taco you're gonna give me to be in line.
You didn't finish. You didn't finish the whole sentence.
It says F off and get Uber Eats, please. So yeah. Anyways, I did it once. That was my rookie mistake about 3.5 years ago. It was 1:15, and I
Perfect time to go sit in a drive-thru line.
Drove into the McDonald's drive-thru on Michigan. that was a triple rookie mistake.
That one's shitty at 2 p.m.
And I was in line for 50 minutes, and I missed out on the 2 a.m. rush and everything, and it sucked.
Yeah.
It's just the worst.
Well, the tip is, the number one comment was 20 cash up front and I will. And I've done that. Like if it's busy, I'm like, if you give me $20 cash, I will go sit through the drive-thru. So And if if they get pissed off, then like, I'm sorry. And I mean, expect a low review, but
Worth it.
And generally, I would say no drive-throughs until after midnight. I just won't do it.
Yeah,
because those are the hours where you make the money. I mean, between well, it used to be anyways, between 1 and 3, right? Noon and 3. No, not noon. Midnight and 3.
Yeah,
that's where you make the money.
Yeah,
and it's just.
I had one time where I was still fairly new, and I had a pickup out of Allendale on a Friday night. And I drove out there, picked him up, and I picked him up from, one of those apartment complexes right there off Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And took him to Taco Bell. Sat in Taco Bell for 30 minutes. And the whole time they're like, we're going to tip you. Tip you so good.
Oh, yeah, no.
Dropped him off. Nothing.
Oh.
It took over an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Do you often wonder that when they're in a group like that, like the actual person that ordered it, like just forgot? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always try to give the benefit of the doubt that they just forgot, but
I feel like the Allendale kids have a bad reputation for not tipping, and I feel like it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, I have gotten some bad tippers, and I have gotten some really drunk people. Yeah. I mean, praying to God as I'm driving out there.
I've had people puke in my car and then not leave a tip. Like,
that's mom and dad's money on that one. They're like, I ain't giving a tip. I don't give a shit.
No,
I've had some pretty good tippers.
I've had a couple
in Allendale, actually.
Yeah, especially like it's the lone wolves you take back. Those are the ones that tip best.
Yes, because they thank the holy Jesus that you took them back and nothing happened to them.
Actually, some pretty interesting times where a couple of times where I took a group back around like right after midnight, and I end up being stuck out there for like an hour, and I make really good money that 1 hour.
If it's surging.
Yeah.
And
if it's surging,
what I would do is I would just turn all X off and only do XL.
Yeah.
And so even
just
they need
building
rides.
to building to building to building, back and forth.
Even one person, I don't care.
The best day to do that is on the football days, especially if it's a home game.
Yeah,
there was one day they had I think it was their homecoming game or something, and I took it felt like 100 rides from Mystic Woods from someplace to Mystic Woods where they were having some tailgate party. Right. Hundreds upon hundreds of kids.
But I would say more times than not, you get screwed out there.
Because you get stuck.
Yeah.
Well, you can just shut the app off.
Yeah.
And just FYI, as you were talking about XL, Select is ending at the end of this month, finally. So, because, you're the only one that's got
longer than I thought it would.
It's Uber X, XL, and Comfort.
Yep. Yep.
Is Select gone everywhere or just here?
Everywhere.
I think it's everywhere.
And my vehicle won't be Comfort for that much longer because it's gonna age out soon.
Yeah, I feel like though my Select should have aged out 2 years ago, and they never
didn't our contact say that yours wasn't even supposed to be a Select anyways?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I went in way back when I got it, and they manually did it in the office. So I think honestly, what happened, there wasn't a lot of Selects around, so they're they probably had an prior authorization to if someone came in and be they didn't inspect it or anything.
No.
I mean, it's
When I went in to go get my car, the Rogue, isn't usually a 7-seater. Should never be, but isn't usually. So I had to go in and say, hey, my car has the extra 2 seatbelts. Can you please make this an XL? And she didn't go outside. She's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Question, you still have that car, right?
I do still have it.
We got to do that picture in the back. We keep saying.
We were just talking about it last podcast.
No, it's not here today.
Shit.
It is on parking insurance because it is parked and it is not going to be driven until January when my internship starts back up.
Okay. All right. Well, we still have to do that. Don't sell it. We need to get a picture.
You can just come to the house and we'll do it.
All right. So, Pete, you're up.
All right. So this next article, Uber driver denies unmasked riders fired for complaints. Portland-based Uber driver cancels trips with riders.
An Uber driver says he was wrongfully terminated by the rideshare company.
Sorry, I accidentally hit the button. Go ahead.
He says, I don't want to die or get sick going to work. Portland-based Uber driver cancels trips with riders who do not wear masks, recently terminated by a company. All right, go ahead.
That means play.
An Uber driver says he was wrongfully terminated by the rideshare company. As News Center Maine's Hannah Deneen shows us, the driver says it all stems from riders refusing to wear masks.
In the beginning, I would ask them, I would plead with them. I would stay there and plead with them.
Former Uber driver Danny Darling would plead for riders to wear a mask.
I would get the middle finger. I would get my car kicked. I would get my car punched.
Worried for his safety, Darling began to cancel rides when riders would approach without a mask, citing the violation.
That's one of the features that Uber started doing on June 1st, that you could cancel them for not wearing a mask.
Also starting June 1st, before accepting a ride through the Uber app, riders must agree to wear a mask. Darling didn't mind losing some business.
No, I'm not financially that desperate. I don't want to die or get sick going to work.
The problem, those riders he refused to pick up filed complaints.
I was on the assumption that Uber would protect you right now. I was wrong.
On Saturday, after 2.5 years of driving for Uber full-time, Darling was told he could no longer work for the company. Uber cited unsafe practices and problematic behavior.
Honestly, I loved helping people. I love it. I love bringing people to the places they need to go in our community.
Another Portland area Uber driver who wished to remain anonymous says he won't refuse unmasked riders.
I've taken it myself to, still give the ride because this is my life, this is my job. I can't afford to get fired over, false information.
Showing rideshare drivers face a dilemma, protect their health and that of everyone they drive.
I'm not wearing my Batman mask to protect me.
Or risk bad ratings, or worse, losing a job they love. In Portland, Hannah Deneen, News Center, Maine.
Yeah, I mean, that guy that remained anonymous, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
No.
If you're a gig worker, don't, and Uber is not going to back you.
Never, ever.
And why would you take people unmasked? Because that's just, it's kind of stupid.
But
it is.
It is wrong though that they stopped the first guy from driving.
The first guy, I'm bummed
Following the
because you
rules.
could see, we're all pretty good bullshit sniffer outers. He seemed like a legit passionate guy. He wanted, he wasn't like some, you can kind of watch videos. You're like,
He's lying.
Yeah, he's lying. But I felt bad for that guy.
This is like the car seat issue, on steroids. I mean, Pete,
'Cause it's
you are going to
everybody.
have the worst time.
So we talked about it. I think it was either last show or maybe it was pre-show, but I just don't want to drive while this is going on because I
Especially
already know.
college kids.
Yeah.
But getting out of the bar at 2 a.m., none of them are going to have a mask with them.
I don't
Maybe
wanna
it'll
deal with
hold the puke in. I saw somebody that said they were selling the masks. Why not? If you can get the cheap one, sell them for $1 a piece.
Yeah.
Like a slice of
Or $5.
Slice a piece. Thanks, Nora. Sorry. That was up for that video. That's why it was so loud.
Here it is. It's the rapture.
Imagine people listening on their when it's done and I post it and they're like, "Holy shit!" Nora must be new, but hi, Nora. Thanks for following.
He is from Bristol, United Kingdom.
Oh,
Wow. All right.
damn!
Yeah.
Our New Zealand numbers are going up. Let's get the UK numbers
There
up.
you go. Welcome, Nora.
Where are we? So yeah, the mask thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will talk about it in the tip time. But the mask is kind of a volatile discussion throughout the community right now.
Yeah.
Rideshare and
I actually
others.
got a new mask, especially one of those that's especially for the nose and everything like that.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Does it help with the fogging?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same. If you got to get it pinched on the nose, and that way the air doesn't come up. But
it helps a ton.
No, I'm definitely concerned when I get back to school this fall, in-person schooling.
yeah,
That, I don't have 6-7 days a week to drive all day for Instacart. I'm going to have to work in the evenings sometimes.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you can really do in the evening
I mean,
is passengers.
you can do food delivery up till 9 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah. But I usually don't start till 9 or 10 o'clock.
Well, get your ass off the couch and get out there.
Definitely. But I just
Just do
I
your
don't
homework.
know if it's going to even be an option.
Do your
Yeah.
homework after 10.
We'll see. I don't know whose this is. Oh, it's mine. So this is interesting. We've talked a lot about Uber Eats, and I don't know if this guy is just like bullshit and what, but the picture says, are they going to boot me off Uber Eats? And legit, he has a 6% satisfaction rate. So 1 thumbs up from the merchant and 19 down, and then 2 thumbs up from the customer and 25 down out of his last 100 ratings.
I don't.
Like, what are you doing wrong?
How do you even stick
Everything.
around long enough to get as low as 6?
Well, I mean,
it's like he's just being a jerk at the restaurant
On
and
purpose.
then eating the food.
must be. I mean, it's like organic wine.
Heyo.
Literally, this is not photoshopped either. This is a legit screen. I don't know. There's 126 comments on this post, so I can't imagine what the comments were. But
They're not nice.
he's other feedback. He's got like, it says 9 reports was he must be stealing the food. Although, why would you get it from the merchant that way? Maybe they're getting feedback from the customer saying, "Hey, I never got my food."
Right.
I don't know, but that guy needs to. I don't know. Can you imagine what his passenger rating is?
Oh God.
I think it's the guy we saw the video about. He like opens up and eats out of the food.
I'll never forget that. It was like India, right? And
Yeah.
he's like scraping the
And
top
then-
with the
and then he
fork.
put the actual tape. He had the roll of the real tape from the.
I know.
What? I didn't see it.
So we had a string of like DoorDash people eating, and Jesper, you can explain it.
Well, it was just so it was a driver. It wasn't one of the known companies from over here. He must have been from India or something like that. But they apparently used this one particular tape all the time to tape down the tape, and the driver had gotten a roll of the tape. So he nicely got the tape off the package, ate what he wanted, and then taped it back up with the real tape.
The best part was like
it's ingenious.
he opened it and then like he scraped it down so it looked even.
Well,
Like somebody had just flopped
like-
it
Like
in there.
he
But
intentionally
first he
tried to hide it.
Right.
Yeah.
First he took his spoon, right? And then he like licked his spoon off, and then he used his
He
spoon.
cleaned his utensils. It was kind of gross, but it was hilarious at the
Super
same
gross.
time.
And could you imagine though getting yourself like one of those rolls of McDonald's stickers?
Like,
Like people
I
could
know.
do that.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was disgusting.
All right, let's
Yeah.
Anyways,
talk
it was-
about Instacart again.
So the next article is about customers this time concerned that shoppers are stealing their groceries.
Like organic wine.
I didn't steal that. I
Sure.
attempted a return
Uh-huh.
and then was told to take it home and wait. And I did wait 3 days and then I drank it.
3 days. You
I
said
did give
5
it-
minutes.
No, I did not. I did wait 3 days to actually
Just in
drink
case?
the wine. Yeah, just in case they
Because
wanted
you
me
didn't want to
do
have to
something.
replace it.
Right, it's $40.
Yeah.
And then I actually found out. So I thought it was 2 bottles. And when I was taking the wine back out of her bag, one of the bottles was actually a San Pellegrino,
Oh,
not a wine. So she did go to a bottle of wine, but she wasn't supposed to.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, whatever. But
Only
So-
the 1,000 people listening to this podcast.
I mean, that seems
Millions.
doesn't sound super probable. This story specifically, like $350, because like once you take the order, like if you just completed it, it wouldn't let you. Because
Yeah.
there's a location service with it, just like there is with Amazon. There's
Yeah, I read
there's
that too, and like
a geofence.
I don't know. I read the article too, and it's from like USA Today.
I've been a little bit too far away, and I've had to like override it. But I'm sure a point comes where you can't even do that anymore. Like you have to be close to the house.
Yeah, I mean, it says Instacart's Twitter feed is rife with complaints. I mean,
things get forgotten. Like I've forgotten things, and I've called Instacart and been like, "Oh, hey," when I was because I have a cooler
yeah,
for cold things, and sometimes you miss something in the bottom of the cooler. And I'm like, I forgot to deliver this. If they're within reasonable range of me, we'll just go drop it off.
yeah,
And it's happened a couple of times where I'm like, "Oh, hey, I forgot this. Here you go." And I think only once they've had time to report it, where they've noticed that something's missing.
yeah.
Beyond that, they haven't noticed yet, or the website wasn't working one day. But there's one where this lady was 40 minutes from my house. I
Oh
was
yeah.
done for the day. It was 2 logs of goat cheese. I was like, "Sorry, lady, you aren't getting this goat cheese. Call, complain, get your money back. That's the end of it. I'm keeping this goat cheese."
Did you eat it with the wine?
No, I did have some of it. I had some of it last night though. I don't do it on purpose. It happens. Mistakes, especially when you're doing the double and triple batches on your orders. And when we first started using the cooler, that was not a good day because we kept forgetting things in the cooler and having to go back to people's houses.
Yeah.
But
because you forget to check the cooler.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad we use it now because it really does make a huge difference, especially when people have ice cream.
Yeah.
And if I have a triple batch order, their food could be in my car for like 40 minutes.
And it's hot out now.
Yes, it is so hot.
We just bought a sweet new cooler.
Yeah.
It's electric.
Yeah. I've seen those.
I
just have
plug it
giant
into the
ice
car
packs.
and it's always
is that for your vacation?
I know.
Yeah.
Nice. A long time ago, I did one of those like home food kit things called Freshly, and it comes with these ice packs that are massive. So I've used those. I've held on to them, and they keep everything really cold.
Nice.
Yes, we're going to talk about, and we're trying to get a hold of this guy, and if we do, it's going to be a good interview.
Yeah, but we don't know. So did you want to? You already said all the cool stuff.
No, I didn't. I said yes. We're going to talk about this guy, and we really want to get a hold of him.
So this guy, how much of your video are you showing? You're not showing that much, right?
It's only 4 minutes.
No, the actual one is longer. Anyway, so this guy is a TikTok guy, and
anybody can be a TikTok person.
Well,
so you know.
I'm on TikTok.
He was
won't
on
be for long.
That's true.
That's true. Possibly.
Anyways, he made $8,000 on Uber Eats in 30 days.
I saw that.
Which is
crazy.
Pretty cool. Now, he made it as he was kind of trying to what do you call it, like
documentary?
Yeah. He drove the most he could every day, so full 12 hours every day.
You want to watch the video?
Go ahead.
I'm driving Uber Eats for 12 hours a day for the whole month of June to see how much money I can get.
I hope this song isn't copyrighted.
Lion lives in Salem, Oregon. The 26-year-old joined the Air Force after high school and started an online business after getting out of the military in 2016. But the coronavirus dried up his income, and most businesses were in a hiring freeze because of the shutdown.
And that led me to find a way to pay the bills, and that happened to be Uber Eats, and I decided to show my journey and share it with other people via TikTok.
Lion decided to drive the Uber Eats maximum of 12 hours a day every day for the month of June and track his progress on the social media app TikTok. He would usually drive from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. with a 1-hour break in between.
So I'm like, I need the money. I might as well set this goal and see if I can obtain that, because if I can do 30 days with 12 hours in a car, I pretty much can do anything, at that point.
Lion's goal was to make $8,000 in June, which would work out to about $96,000 over the course of a full year. He quickly learned that getting there would be a matter of quantity, not quality.
I make about $10 per trip, so it's equaling, averagely, it's about the same. So every single day, if I make $280, it's because I went on 28 trips. So it equals out pretty well. So on an average day, I'm probably making anywhere between $250 to $350.
Lion reached his goal one day early.
Guys, I just want to let you know, we did it. We made over $8,000 this month.
For the month of June, he brought in over $8,300.
That's nuts.
He averaged about $280 a day, which would be over $100,000 a year at his insane pace. A normal 5-day work week would average out to about $1,400 a week, or just under $73,000 a year. Lion spent almost $600 on gas and put nearly 5,000 miles on his car. Right. Other than that,
I mean, the first thing, obviously, that you say when you do that, you're not working 40 hours, right? Now you're working.
Oh, he was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
Exactly. So you're working 60, 90, 105 hours a week, right? Is that true? Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is. 7 days a week.
Come on.
7 times 12 is 94, right? No,
96.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe.
84.
Damn it.
I knew it ended in 4. I just didn't know that.
You just did it.
Yeah. 7 times 12.
One thing we all know we're good at, math and
84.
geography.
Yeah, I know.
I am
pretty
good at both of those most of the time.
So 84, not 105.
Right.
Well, either way, it's 84. A shit ton of hours.
But it's
84 hours a week.
It's still 2 full weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 full work weeks, right? So if you were to work 80 hours a week, you could probably easily make that money, right?
Yeah.
So
Easy?
well, I don't know if it's easy or not, but I mean, he did a great job. Don't take me wrong. It was absolutely awesome that he did it, but he also worked.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of hours. You couldn't
It's
keep
not
that up.
sustainable.
No,
It's not sustainable.
No, it's $23 an hour,
Right.
which we make in our gigs all the time. That's not
Right.
Really? So I think we're shocked by the 8,000, but you're right. 23 bucks.
$23 an hour. So it's
Yeah.
really not anything special. It's just he did so much of it.
Yeah, I think
and it was consistent. You know, we have peaks here.
Yeah.
You get 3 really good hours,
Right.
a couple crappy hours, 3 really good hours. If we could have 12 good hours, yeah, anybody in this market can make that
Make
much
it-
I
money.
mean,
some bank.
I think what I kind of they count in the video. They made it up to where he can make $100,000. Yeah, he can make $100,000, but he also like working
Would
2
never
years.
stop working. Yeah.
But it's like working 2 years, not 1.
right.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
if you're doing 84 hours
Right.
a week.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we're really only making $50,000 a year.
Well, what I think it's commendable that he did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it-
especially for 1 month. Like anybody can suck it up and deal with it.
Well,
for a month.
here's what my takeaway from it is like if you are in a pinch,
Right. Oh yeah.
you can
gigs can save you.
gig can save your ass. I mean, if you imagine if you had rent, car payments, like all that, like if you did that for 1 month, I mean,
Yeah.
think how far ahead you could get with that. I mean,
I sure do know how far ahead I can get with that.
Yeah.
Instacarting all day, every day.
yeah. I mean,
and take yourself out of a hole, right? Yeah, absolutely.
if you need it, you know
Right.
what I
Yeah,
mean.
it's
If you all of a sudden, that's why I love gigs so much because it doesn't judge by education, race, sex. It doesn't like that. Like, oh, I just lost my job. I'm gonna go do Uber Eats and make $5,000 this month and save my family.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone that looks down on gig people, they can fuck off
Yeah.
because
We're
some of them are the
we're
hardest
paying our
workers out
bills.
there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Now he did put 5,000 miles on his car, which actually isn't that bad for
No.
working
Well, but-
7 days a
But
week.
then we look at the other way. So 5,000 miles, right? That is how much? 3,000 deductible or something like that? Because it's 56 cents a mile, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, he gets
That's
to deduct.
not
So then
bad
half
either.
of it's
So he
yeah.
only has to pay taxes on 5,000 of that, minus any other expenses he can
I know,
take. So
I know.
that's not bad.
no.
Yeah. I guess later on in the video, he talked about like everyone on TikTok was worried about his taxes. Like that was the number one thing that they were worried about, that he was not going to save money for his taxes.
Well,
But-
he put away 30%. And
which is probably
A
too
lot.
much.
Yeah, he could have sent them a check for $1,000 and he'd have been covered.
Yeah.
yeah, but still, it's
Yeah.
the wise thing to do. Just like anything
Yes,
else.
and
when
then you have
when
some extra
do-
savings to do
But
whatever.
I think the takeaway there is, as gig workers, if you always chug away 30% of what you make, then you are going to come out ahead.
Well, it's just like when W-2 workers, where they take so much out of their check and then they get a $4,000. Like they would get that, if they
Right.
save 30%, they might get 20% of that back at the end of the year.
Right.
Well,
So-
but you still have it, right? That's
Right,
the thing.
right.
You only have to pay half of it, and you end the year with Christmas
See,
present.
And
Here's-
if you're smart, you have it in a high.
Here's
interest
my problem
savings
is I always
account.
roll the dice and never do that. And
Yeah.
like this year it paid off, but like last year it did not pay
Yes.
off. I owed like $2,000 to the feds and like $300 to the state.
Yeah.
This year, I'm pretty happy. We actually have cash saved up, so
Well, that's good.
yeah,
All right,
it'll be fine.
let's jump ahead. Pete, I ditched yours as your.
I wondered why I didn't have.
Yeah, it was just we're getting a little long in the tooth, but I want to play this Amazon video because we don't really get to talk about Amazon very much. It recorded. This is not my fault, but it's only in 1 year. It's super weird, but it's some of the interviews are hilarious. So basically, this guy quit. It's actually in Michigan that this happened, Detroit area. Leaves his truck and packages and keys inside at the gas station, and then goes on a Twitter rampage, I guess. But it's just kind of funny. So we'll play that and then get into tip time and social media shenanigans, and then we'll get out of here.
This is the Southfield gas station where Amazon delivery driver Derek Lancaster says he just had enough with his job. So he abandoned the truck here, keys, packages inside, then got in an Uber, went home.
Like, you feel me? I ain't about to keep waking up at 9 in the morning, bro, and getting off at 9 o'clock.
9 in the morning.
Derek Lancaster on a Twitter rant after pulling a stunt gone viral, taking a stand against his former employer, Amazon.
And I just stepped out the car and just wandered off.
Wandered right away from his delivery truck full of packages, unlocked, keys inside. What was that feeling like?
I just felt great.
Then he posted on social media, telling folks exactly where he abandoned the truck at this marathon station in Southfield.
That's crazy. I mean,
no, this isn't the
I
right
guess he
ear.
was done. I guess he was fed up, you know.
Before I quit my job, I'm at least going to drop the truck off or something.
Yeah, that's what normal people would do.
Sat for a while, but was eventually picked up by Amazon. It's unclear if any packages were missing. If he was standing here right now, what would you tell Derek?
Be an adult, you know, take care of your responsibilities when you work there the right way instead of just being childish and ignorant, maybe. I'm not sure.
Derek says he was worked too hard, pulling 12-hour shifts every day, delivering sometimes 200 packages.
Only 200?
How much are you making an hour?
$15.50
Okay. And that's full-time?
full-time.
Do you get benefits or anything?
Yeah, you get the 401k and all the other stuff.
And overtime. But COVID on top of it all, then the weather, he says.
Hot as hell, bro. It be like 97 degrees outside. You feel me? I ain't
You're
about to
driving
keep
around
waking up
but
at
that's
9
not
in the morning,
Amazon's
bro, and
fault.
getting off at 9 o'clock, bro.
These teens
Oh,
saw
this is
Derek's
funny.
post on social media and give him credit. Would you hire him, though?
Really, he shows initiative. I mean, if I had a company that needed somebody who's willing to abandon everything for their ideals, I'd hire him. But not to drive a truck, no.
Yeah, man. F that job, bro. I'm just gonna let life take me where it take me. I'm 22. I applied for school the other day, so I'm more focused on that.
We did reach out to the Hazel Park Amazon
When you
location,
get
did
a
not
week full
hear
of
back
homework, are
in
you
time
just
for this
gonna
story
leave?
in Southfield. Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
It's 97 degrees outside. I'm not doing no homework.
You know, he's going to have such a hard time getting a job because people are going to know his name. They're going to know his face.
Well, yeah, it's just like all the Karens that are getting fired.
Like that
and,
Costco guy.
Yeah, well, that's the Matts. Or no, Chads. They're calling him, the guys are Chads and then women Karen. Too bad if your name's Chad or Karen.
Yeah.
But no, that guy is like, oh, I got to work 12 hours. Like, you're making $15.50 an hour. No, that's a pretty good starting wage to
and overtime
and 401k. And I'm like, he's just 22. He's dumb. He don't know. He'll figure it out. He's still a baby.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a crappy job, but it's a solid job.
Yeah.
And you still, like, you don't just leave the truck. Just bring it back to if you don't want to deliver, fine. Don't deliver them. Bring it back to the depot.
I would be surprised if
and
you
never
don't get
come
sued
back. Yeah.
by Amazon.
Especially if anything's missing.
Right.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think they picked it up a couple hours later, so they have.
But still, they still have grounds for suing him.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything from him.
He doesn't have anything.
Didn't have a job, but to send the message.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That no, we ain't doing this.
Yeah, I mean, they should make a statement. So
I mean,
he didn't really think that one out.
No. Well, and again, we were all 22. I mean, I wouldn't have gone to Twitter.
I would have never done that.
I was never.
I wouldn't have either. But
let's face this: Twitter wasn't around when you were 22. Okay?
That's right. Thank God.
Definitely.
Thank God.
But I never did that.
No, I didn't either.
I worked since I was.
I mean, I've walked
14.
off a job, but I've finished my shift and then just been like, I'm not coming back.
I don't think
here
I've ever even done
again.
that.
I have.
I think I've done my 2 weeks.
I've been pushed to that point where I am.
Well, unless I
never
got
coming
fired,
back here.
but I've gotten fired a few times.
No, I've never gotten fired.
Oh yeah, I
Probably should have.
I have lots of stories about that. All right.
Well, I mean, you do get a little ragey.
Yeah, jumping into tip time. So this is what I already planned on doing, but basically for the mask thing, like we talked about earlier, is to create a stock text that basically says, hey, I can't take you without a mask. This message here, I'll just read this one. Mine was a little different. It says, hello, for the safety of all my riders, myself, and our loved ones, please have your mask face covering ready. Thank you for your patience, understanding. I'm on my way and we'll be seeing you soon. Attention, I do not take riders without face coverings. Or maybe that was a separate one. But basically what it's saying is have a stock message, because then you can avoid the awkwardness if you send that as soon as you get the ride. Not that I condone texting and driving, but pull over, accept the ride, and then send that.
Well, you can do it as you drop the other person off.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're done with that drive.
Double.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I would send it beforehand and have it like a shortcut. Mine says mask, so I start typing the word mask and it pops up, and then just send it. Because then you're avoiding the confrontation if you have to. If they don't have it, they can cancel, or if they want to try to fight you on it, just don't open the door like you do with drunks. And just
remember to put in, tips will be appreciated.
Are appreciated.
Maybe I should make one that says, "Please have your kids in a car seat."
Yeah, I mean, I do that
in the car seat.
I'd have
to go
that
in the car.
when I get an XL at the airport. I send that.
Yeah,
because chances are it's probably kids.
Well, I've honestly started thinking about adding a message like that for Instacart for alcohol.
Oh.
Like, please ensure you have a unexpired ID at home.
Well,
because it's required.
shipped it sends it automatically.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they know they're supposed to have one. People just don't think about the fact that it can't be expired. That's what's getting people is, oh yeah, this expired, but it's okay. The governor said it's okay, but Instacart didn't.
Have you thought about it saying, I will not give you your alcohol if you don't have an unexpired? Because I'm sure lots of drivers will not care about it at all.
Well, you just have to say valid
scan
license.
Yeah, if you scan it and the date is wrong,
it will kick
you
it
can't
out.
manually change it.
Can't.
Yeah, you cannot proceed.
Maybe it's changed since I've done shipped, but you could say, because I had one time, I don't know why, I couldn't get it to scan. I found out I was not scanning the barcode. I was scanning the front of it, thinking it was going to take a picture. And I was like, it's fine. And I just overrid it.
Yeah, I guess you can type it in if it won't scan, but I think if you scan it, and then you go back and change the date. That's going to be a real suspect.
But Shipped did say, are you sure you want to deliver this alcohol without getting an ID? I said, yeah, it's fine. I mean, the lady was 60 years old. I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah,
but
we don't have the ability to override or anything.
That's because Instacart ships little stepbrother.
Yeah. So.
All right, we're going to jump into social media shenanigans. I'm up first. This is hilarious. Some at Facebook group, he goes, been waiting to pick up an order from Hooters for over 10 minutes, so I farted in the main entrance and canceled delivery. I mean, we've all crop dusted before. I mean, it's just part of the life or the fact that you work out in the field with about own people. You're gonna fart. But I mean, maybe he didn't. I just thought it was kind of funny. 10 minutes? That's not that long.
No.
So, let's see, Jesper.
There we go. Jeez, I do love this job.
This job.
First ride this morning, 7:30ish. I pull up to pick up an older lady standing next to two small nightstands, a small coffee table, two lamps, the one which she is holding. I ask, are you wanting to load those? She said, yes, of course. I cancel the ride, drive off, listening to her saying, wait, where are you going? I mean, I think it goes to the right. It says he's just an Uber X, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, what I don't.
Uber isn't your mover.
No,
it says
it's not. But I wouldn't mind. I mean, I have a bigger car, so if I could fit a small coffee table and lamps, I'd be like, it's just like groceries,
right?
But I mean, if it's a couch,
suitcases,
yeah. Yeah. Do you ever see that one where it's like a small car and I don't think it was specifically for Uber, but this lady's trying to cram a mattress in or something. Yeah. I don't know where it was, but it's sorry guys.
If it's not going to fit, it's not going to fit.
I mean, I'll take small things, but I'm definitely not going to move a couch.
No.
All right. So this next one was in the Ship Shopper. He said, I know what this is supposed to say because I've shopped for this customer before, but I guess mean bacon only. And it's a screenshot. The customer sent her a picture of the bacon and it says, please get meanest looking bacon only, please.
Have you seen some funny things?
It's supposed to be leanest, but they said meanest.
Oh, okay. Not really. I think most people, I haven't really had any typos or anything.
No.
A lot of people put things in the delivery instructions when they want more things and the app won't let them order more.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I don't always see them in time and I'm like, oh, you wanted 6 more things. Well,
I had a couple like that where they said in the delivery comments, please don't use bags.
Yeah.
And then you don't see them until you go to deliver it. I'm out in the car, hit the button, I'm like, it says, please don't use bag. I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Just to pour everything out of the bags.
Yeah. Well,
no, I texted
boxes
her
at that point.
Yeah, I texted her and said, I can go back in and get boxes, but this doesn't show up till I'm already leaving the store.
And you've already paid for the bags.
Yeah.
They're getting charged for them, so.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Nora from the UK.
Thanks, Sam, for coming.
Yes.
Sam.
No problem.
And I will be out this weekend, so join the Telegram group. You can talk shit to me.
Until 9 p.m.
Hey, I might make it to midnight. I'm tired tonight. My damn dog woke me up last night fighting with a possum at 4 a.m. outside. So. Stupid son of a bitch.
He's lucky he's still alive.
That possum was scared, but I was out in my underwear on the deck trying to get the dog in. It was a nightmare. I'm yawning.
Oh, your poor neighbors.
Yeah, well, at least it was 4 a.m. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in a couple weeks. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Not tonight. Did Miguel ever chime in?
No, I got about 3/4 of the way through and stopped watching.
That's it. We're done with that.
Yep. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks
guys. Bye.
Bye.